Hey guys, welcome to the show. Keith Guidry with Percy Guidry's Hearth and Patio. I'm so excited, y'all. Some people call this man Gator. Some people call him Louisiana Lightning. Some people call him Mr. Ron Guidry. I call him a good customer and a good friend, and I can't wait. We're gonna be grilling up some stuffed quail on the Cajun grill. So don't go nowhere. We're gonna talk a little baseball, and we're gonna talk a lot about barbecuing. Welcome back to the show. Like I said, we got Ron Guidry, Mr. Ron Guidry, Louisiana Lightning, sitting right here. He's gonna be cooking some beautiful stuffed quail on the Cajun grill. But before we get into the kitchen or on the pit, I wanna ask Ron a few questions. Ron, we were talking about the fastball and your two best pitches, or your two pitches when you were playing in the pros was what?
Okay, this is a fastball.
Fastball.
And that's a slider.
And what were you throwing? What speed were you throwing in your prime?
Fastballs were
Don't be modest.
anywhere from 95 to 97.
I heard you hit 98.
I might have, I didn't worry about that. It wasn't how hard you threw, it's where you put it.
Right.
And then sliders, I threw sliders anywhere from 88 to 90 miles an hour.
Now, when you made it to the pros, did you have that slider, or was that?
No, one of my teammates taught it to me while I was a lot of inactivity.
Yeah.
My teammate Sparky Lau.
Sparky Lau. Yeah.
Sitting in the bullpen, a lot of times if you're not pitching, and he showed that pitch to me. And then once I got a chance to get into games, you know, that's probably what sent me on my way.
Now that pitch, I saw some of the highlights on YouTube, was the pitch that you struck out in the Angels game, 17 batters?
Well, I don't know how many they had.
Come on.
It's 18.
18?
Yeah, 18.
I was testing you.
Yeah, it's 18. But it's, that was the pitch that complemented fastball. I always could throw hard, I just didn't have something else to complement it.
Right.
And up in the big leagues, you can't just throw fastballs. You got to have something else. So once I developed that, it set me apart.
Right. Now, your wife, who I adore, you know you're a lucky man.
I know.
Miss Bonnie, sweet as can be. She brought me a copy of this book. Now, this book was written by an author that wrote an article in the New York Times or something like that a few years back about you and Yogi's relationship, and people wanted more. I mean, he gave me a little bit of taste, so he came up with this book, and she gave me this copy and this autograph by you and Yogi. There's a lot of neat information in this book. I read it cover to cover. I couldn't put it down.
It is. He's for so many years, him and I had him all to myself.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knew I took care of him, but they didn't know how much it encompassed and everything.
Picking him up at the airport.
And it was always fun for me because he was such a good friend. And when he comes down to spring training, you know, who's going to take care of him? He's 80, you know, he was 80 years old.
Right.
But I mean, it started when he was 70 years old, 75 years old, and it's been going on for 12, 13, 14 years. Anyway, you know, we were such good friends that everything just started. It's the passing of the torch, so to speak, from the older generation to mine. Hopefully somebody picks it up after I'm gone.
Right.
You know, that's the kind of camaraderie that the New York Yankees share. We all take pride in the tradition that we have, and we're always looking out for everybody.
Well, that's what I got from this book. It's
just like, you know, when I go to spring training now, I always take care of the kids. You know, even if they're 40 years old, they're still kids to me.
Right.
So I still refer to it as taking care of the kids.
But there's a lot of stories in the book. We're going to touch about that when we're barbecuing over there. And I just want to thank you for coming. I think y'all going to enjoy this recipe, guys. So stick around. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back to the show. Ron Guidry, Mr. Ron Guidry, Louisiana Lightning.
I wish you'd stop calling me
No,
Mr.
but that's a Mr.
No, I don't like the Mr.
Okay, look, what we got in this little bag right here.
Okay, look,
bag of love.
We got just clean quail. We're gonna take those quail out.
And we talked about you can do quail, you can do teal.
Well, you know, look, that bag, you know, can consist of quails, teal. You can do woodcock. You can anything.
It's a versatile recipe.
Anything that you can put in that bag, you can do something with it.
That's what I'm saying. So we're gonna take the quail, and you got a concoction right here in this little.
Okay, well, you know, like, okay, if you go, quail season opens, I think, around Thanksgiving.
Right.
So since we're before, and these
raised.
are pin raised
Right.
because we
I don't
can,
see no BB holes in the
no,
breast.
we can get them and you can buy them, so that way
Right.
legally you can cook them.
Right.
But if you went hunting and you got quails, like we're gonna take 6 quails, and this is the tray that I normally use.
A little pan.
If you have 12 quail, you get a little bit big one.
Right.
And that's what you learn over time. And I get the quail like these from the best stop.
Right.
And you can get them already seasoned if you don't want to fool with
Already
the season.
stuffed,
already
already
stuffed,
seasoned.
all everything. But if you want to do it yourself, you could go to the best stop and ask them for the stuff that goes in the quail. The
Right.
stuff, and they make it all. It's just ground meat, with peppers and same thing that
Seasoning
you
and everything.
Yeah, seasoning and everything. And all they're gonna do is they're gonna take a quail. They're just gonna come. They're gonna take the meat.
Stuff it in the
Not
little
as
cavity.
easy as it looks. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just stuff the meat in the cavity itself. And
Pretty
you
simple.
You stuff it until it's pretty much full. If you have excess, you can go over. It's like when I'm first doing them, I just kind of basically stuff it until it kind of closes. Then you put one on the side, and you try.
You want me to try one?
Yeah, try one.
All right.
I'll do one, you do one.
All right.
Yeah.
Just kind of open up the little
Yeah,
cavity.
just open up the breastbone.
Right. Grab a little bit of the seasoning, stuffing.
And you stick them in there.
This is kind of fun. It's like playing in the mud.
Almost. Except this is more fun than playing in the
Oh,
mud.
it tastes better too. Comme ça?
Yeah, just stick it in there and make sure that you got pretty much.
I think mine's full up. It's
Just-
coming out the neck.
If it's coming out the neck, you're
It's
full
good.
up.
Okay, so then after we stuff them, then we come back with some
Okay.
dry seasoning.
Well, like we'll do one more,
Okay.
and then what we're gonna do after this, okay, is we come back with our. I have some Cajun Power Worcestershire sauce.
Say that 3 times real
No,
fast.
I don't.
I can't say
I
it one
just
time.
I usually just say Cajun Power. It's the sauce
Yeah.
you can get, and you just sprinkle a little bit on there.
Uh-huh.
You just sprinkle it all.
Get a little flavor on it.
Yeah. You can play with them. You can rub them. And then we take some seasoning, and you just sprinkle all your seasoning on it. Douse them real good.
Now there's a lot of different seasonals. You got
It's like, look, when you cook, you try different things, and everybody makes good products around here. So
right,
almost anything that you want to try it's going to work.
right.
I mean, we just have a lot of good stuff.
We're blessed.
Yeah, we're blessed.
blessed.
We're in the right spot.
You're right.
So
After-
and then once you have all of that, now we have them here.
Right.
We have some
Bell
onions, some
pepper and
bell pepper.
onion.
But I don't like fooling with sharp objects. I've already had my fill of.
Yeah, we had that off camera.
So I have some already cut up.
Easy.
And, yeah, it's easy. You can find this at any store. You go and you get them. And then all you do after that, I mean, you put as much as you want. Give it a good dousing at the bottom.
Now you add onions and bell pepper and garlic to anything and slow cook it. It's got to be good, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can smell everything.
I
You
can
know, you
smell,
got
yeah.
your onion, you got your garlic, you got bell pepper, you got a little bit of red bell pepper. You know,
Right.
and it just gives it the flavor. And the more you try, the more you cook with this. Either put less, put more.
Now we're gonna make a gravy, right? So
Yeah.
we're gonna put some rice on. We're gonna eat this over rice.
Well, you eat it over rice. You can eat it with some bread. Don't matter.
It don't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
Just trying not to
yeah,
eat the
look,
bones.
Depending on how much time you have, how fast you want to eat.
Right.
Hey, I've done that. I've cooked the quail and I've just taken some bread and just slapped the bread at the bottom when it's all done. Eat the quail.
Okay, so
But
what's
then,
the
and
liquid?
then we have and the thing is, I have a can of chicken broth.
right.
But now, once you do this, you can add cream of celery, cream of mushroom,
Mushroom. Right.
cream of chicken.
Right.
You know, you can
experiment.
in it. Yeah, I mean, it's basically gonna always come out pretty good.
But if you do it this way, and I think this is kind of like you can cook. You can play baseball, but I've heard your wife told me you can cook. So I'm doing it like you do it. So if you put the chicken broth, guess what Keith Guidry is doing?
That's all they had when I went over there.
Well, that's what we're gonna do.
It's the same. It was what I'm saying is, there's not gonna be a whole lot of difference in the taste because you're tasting the bird.
Right.
More, okay.
Right.
If you use a broth, you probably will taste more of the bird. If you use the cream of mushroom and the cream of chicken, you taste a lot of the soup.
Right.
Because
and it's going to be a thicker consistency.
And it's thicker.
Right.
And you know, when you're doing it, it's like I said, we talked about it before. Everybody's different. Not everybody has the same taste buds. So some might like a thick gravy, some might like something on the thin side.
Right.
And when you're fixing it, you just have to experiment until you find something that you like, and then that's how you cook it all the time.
That's how we're going to do it.
Me, I cook it different ways all the time.
They could ask you for the recipe, and you're like, I don't
have no recipes. I don't go by recipes.
We're going to put it on paper, Ron. We got to. We're on TV. People are going to say, I want to cook like Ron Guidry.
The last time I had to write, I was in high school. I don't have to write anyway. Like,
you know, and so then, we got everything in there? That's it?
And then that's it.
So the temperature, the oven, but we're cooking on a grill, which is like an outdoor oven. We're trying to get it at what, about 3, baking it?
I would say 350.
350 is a good.
350 is a good cooking temperature.
Give or take. Yeah.
So you can cook it like that on 350 for a couple of hours. But the last thing we do before we put it on,
we're gonna foil it.
What I always do is I get a piece of foil.
Right.
And then, you know, it's ready to go in.
Right.
Other than I put it and I cover it. Because that way you keep the bird out of the direct line of the, you know,
and all the juices
and the juices basically
stay moist. Okay.
And then you just take this.
Take that, put that on the grill.
You put that wherever you feel like. If it's the same, put it on one side.
And we got that on the Cajun grill. We got it at the lowest setting. We close the dampers, and normally you're about 350. We're about
where we at?
375.
No big deal.
That's okay.
They'll just be done a few more minutes quicker.
Okay.
But you know, I mean, that's it. As far as now, if you wanted to talk and have stories, the time would be right now because you ain't got nothing else to do.
Look,
that's
the little
that's
bird
all
is telling me, hey, we got to go to a commercial. So y'all don't go nowhere and stick around. We're gonna come back, and Ron's gonna show us what's the next step in cooking these beautiful quail. Okay, we're back. Welcome back, guys. We got Ron Guidry and the quail on the Cajun grill. We got them covered. You hear them?
Oh, yeah.
They're talking to you.
I smell them.
The temperature came up to about 400, which is okay because we got a coal tray. I mean, your coals are this far away from the bird. So that's good. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little rice on the grill. A lot of people freak out when they, man, you can't cook rice on the grill. I'm like, well, again, that's like an outdoor oven, you know?
Yeah, you
so
can.
all I did, Ron, is I put enough rice in there that I figured we need, and then I rinse my rice. And a lot of people don't wash their rice. I believe that's huge.
I usually rinse mine.
Yeah,
also.
what we do is you rinse it, you kind of stir it around, you see all this starch kind of coming into the water.
You do it once or twice?
Oh, no, I do it probably 3 or 4 times until it still got a lot of starch, but that's good. And then I normally just take some regular salt or some sea salt and just kind of give it a little bit of flavor so you don't have to season it as much whenever you go and put it in your plate. And then what I do is I just take a full sheet of aluminum foil, and I cover it. And you want to make sure that it's pretty airtight. And just like on your little rice cooker, they got like the thing with the little hole in the glass to let some of that steam out. So we're gonna do the same thing, but I just close this up, and then I'm gonna take a knife and I'm gonna make 5 little holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then
so you're designing.
Yeah, like a dice.
It's a design.
And then I just kind of put this on the grill. Now, I want to kind of get it steaming or simmering, so my coals are kind of far. I think our coals are good because they're more lit on this side than this side. So I'm gonna jack this up just a little bit, just for a little while. Not very long.
That ain't gonna hurt.
That ain't gonna hurt your quail. And that's gonna probably sit for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then the water's gonna be bubbling, and then I'm gonna lower it. You'll see a little bit of steam coming out them holes. I'm gonna lower it down, and it takes about another 5 minutes, and that rice will be beautiful. So we got all the food on. There's really not much we can talk, but I know you got a lot of story off camera.
Well,
we got stories coming out your ears, man. And then that book. Okay, let me
ask me something. Okay, I'm not divulging anything. Okay, but if you ask me, I'll tell you.
And we didn't talk about this before you came, but I talked to your wife about it. In reading your book, I understand your dad worked for the railroad.
Yes.
For Southern Pacific.
Southern Pacific.
And then later at Amtrak.
Amtrak. Yeah.
Did you know my grandfather?
Your grandfather?
Side? Yeah.
Yeah.
Conley.
Yeah, because they all know each other.
They're like a brotherhood.
Yeah, they all know.
I was just fascinated. I didn't know that about your family. Yeah. And you got how many kids?
We have 3. Ronnie and I have 3.
3 kids. A daughter?
A daughter, Jamie, who's the oldest, then our son, Brandon, and then our daughter, Danielle.
Right. And any grandkids?
We have 2.
2 grandkids?
Yeah.
You don't spoil them?
Yeah.
No. Come on, Ron.
No.
All right. So it's all right. I know I can just see you with them kids. You're crazy.
Well, especially the little girl, Ava. Not, and then I think he's going to be 9.
Yeah.
Ava's only 2.5.
Oh, Lord.
And since they just built their new home, they live right on the side of us.
Right.
So there's a small little field across from Mike and Jamie, and in our house. So every afternoon when she comes back from school, I'll go walk outside, and she'll come out and then she runs across the field.
Right.
Yeah, because now what they're talking to,
and I can just see you with the big
Well,
smile.
Yeah. Well, that's my job.
Well, yeah, boy, you're grandpa.
You're supposed to.
Yeah.
And then, of course, being a little boy, he's into all kind of stuff. So
rocks and mud and four-wheelers.
Yeah, four-wheelers and all that.
Yeah,
so he's not the type that you can
love up on.
Yeah. He's not.
He ain't got time
not
for that.
yet, anyway.
Yeah.
But with Ava, you can play around.
Well, pretty soon you can take them hunting, though. It won't be long.
Well,
you'll be able to get a little
I'm
gun.
waiting when she gets old enough so I can teach her how to play golf, so she can come play golf with me.
Yeah.
Hunting, hey, look, I'm sure you can get hit with a golf ball and you can suffer bad injuries, but you can also, it's dangerous with guns.
Right.
I don't want to introduce her that too young. But golf is different.
Yeah.
If she wants to shoot when she's older, that's fine. Guys, I've been shooting guns since I was 7 years old, but it was another way to put some food on the table.
Right.
So you learn how to do it right. Every time when I'm around them, I'm conscious of them anyway.
Yeah, and the older we get, the more you realize how dangerous it can be.
So
if you're out there, you send your kids to a gun safety training course.
Yeah.
If you're gonna bring them hunting, take some time and train them right.
Yeah. I even took my wife one time, but I only gave her a shell at a time.
Oh, my wife came one time. She said, "You can go. I will never go hunting again."
I think mine would come again, but if I treated her
I'm like,
different.
honey, look at the sunrise. We're in the marsh waking up. She goes, and the mosquitoes.
And the mosquitoes?
No. She said, you can have all of that.
You took her when there was the mosquitoes. See, I took Bonnie when it was about 20 degrees.
I mean, I tried not to, but opportunity comes up, you go, you take it.
Hey.
Okay, now talk about some of your old teammates. I know you stay in touch with a lot with Goose.
Well, Goose and I are very good friends,
Right.
but we go to spring training together.
Right.
So we've been doing that for about 15 or so years.
Mm-hmm.
I've been going to spring training, I guess, for like 23, 24 years now, ever since I retired. Well, I got Goose to come in the latter part of the 90s. He started coming. So, and being on those World Championship clubs together, we had a camaraderie before. It's only grown since.
Right.
Because now we don't play, we're old, and we got to watch them.
Right.
And we have fun with them, but that's what spring training is all about, having fun. Learning, and we try to teach as much as we can.
Now, okay, so when put yourself in their shoes, when you were just coming up, were there people like
they didn't
have mentors like what you're doing for the younger kids?
Whitey Ford was the only one that came. Now, for us, having Whitey there was great.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a hero to us. That was the 50s and 60s Yankees. That was the teams that I looked up when I was growing up. So yeah, he was a hero. Mantle made a special appearance every once in a while.
Right.
Whitey was there for about 3 or 4 weeks in spring training. So it was great having him. But he was basically the only one.
Right.
Now, Yogi was there, but he was coaching. So
Right.
he was there all the time. But we
Right.
didn't look at Yogi as we looked at, at Ford.
So do you find that what y'all are doing now is kind of paving the way? Do you see other ball clubs that do this, or that kind of just the Yankees?
From what
do
I
this?
gather, we're one of the few clubs that really do that.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's important to the young kids, huh? I mean, like the one that just retired, your pitcher.
If I had a choice to have a few more guys there when I was playing, I
Right.
would have liked.
Yeah.
Because one of the best days was old timers game.
Right.
When you'd walk in there in the latter part of the 70s, so, you walked in the Yankee Stadium clubhouse and you walked through the door, when you'd look like this,
Right.
you'd see Vic Raschi, Allie Reynolds, Whitey Ford, Yogi Berra, Elston Howard, Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris, Tom Tresh, Bobby Richardson, and then the last locker was Joe DiMaggio, and he'd be locked way by himself.
Right.
Okay, and then you'd look on that side of the room, and they'd be Eddie Lopat, Tommy Henry, Cleet Boyer. Did I say it? Tony Kubek.
Yeah.
The list was endless.
Yeah. Just like legends of the
yeah.
game.
And you'd walk in like,
Wow.
like that. And as soon as they'd see you, hey, Gator, my God, hey. And they'd make you sit down, and then they'd start talking about what you did last month, last week, last night.
Right.
And they were so interested in you. I'd try to talk to them about something that I know that they did. Well, that's not what they wanted to hear.
Right.
They wanted to talk about
Yeah.
Mantle and Ford and all of that. They always wanted to know, how did you throw your slider? How did Sparky show you? There were some that wanted to know, how could you throw so hard being so small? I only weighed 150 pounds.
Right.
Okay? So they'd always go like, there's no way, you can't.
I think I weighed 150 pounds when I was 8, and that was it. It was all downhill.
I was
after that.
one of the, I might have been the only guy after the end of the season that got the card that was sent out every year about your weight for
Right.
next year. Everybody'd have to watch your sodium, do this, do that.
Eat more.
That's what Gene would put. Gene Monahan was my trainer. He'd put on the top of the card, eat more. And he'd put things.
Well, man, I'm digging these stories. Look, we're going to be checking on the rice here in a second, so don't go nowhere. I hope you're enjoying this show. We'll learn how to cook some quail on the Cajun grill. Okay, guys, we're back. Look, Ron, look.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Okay, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Look, the leg just comes.
I think it's done. Yeah, got it done.
So we got the rice cooked on the grill. Beautiful
Put
rice,
that.
beautiful little quail. Oh my, and it smells absolutely
Take
incredible.
another
Now
one, put it down.
I like the gravy.
Yeah, put your little
We're gonna
gravy.
Put a little gravy.
Yeah, put
Oh,
your
look at
little
that,
gravy.
Put a little gravy on there. Now the moment of truth has finally arrived. Can I borrow your fork?
Yeah, you can take the
Yeah.
fork.
All right, we're just gonna kind of mash that around like that.
But you need a little bit more gravy.
We need a little bit more
Yeah,
gravy.
a
You're
little
right.
bit more gravy.
You're right. You're right. And that gravy is made up of, like you said, chicken broth,
Yeah.
onions, bell pepper.
And just a little flavoring from the bird itself.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a little bit of the rice right here with the gravy. Oh, my dad would like that, yeah. Oh, everybody.
Now as you taste the bird now.
Okay, now we kind of cheated. You gave me a little bit of the leg a while ago. What y'all think?
You don't think it's too big and it's too hot? And then your next thing then there's the stuffing. You know?
Oh,
So taste the stuffing a little bit.
Yeah, we did the leg.
Because that's the other half of the bird itself. I mean, the stuffing is great too.
Okay, here we go.
But
Oh, Lord. Sausage bonnet there.
You can hurt
Rah!
and it's so simple that you can actually hurt yourself.
Well, again, easy, and we had a lot of time to talk, which I think is the Cajun way of barbecuing. You don't have to stress out. You just want to sit down, enjoy a drink with your buddy, have a good
No more stress
conversation.
for me. No more stress.
But look, man, thank you.
Hey, you're quite welcome.
I love you and your wife. You're good. You've been good to us, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're gonna have the recipe for all this on our website, so y'all stick around. I mean, I hope y'all had a good time, and we'll see you on the next side.